This episode is sponsored by Big Daddy Graphics. Big Daddy Graphics is the only full-time, full-service Perrysburg spirit wear store in Perrysburg. They have 2 full-time graphic artists on staff to assist customers in creating eye-catching designs and full catalogs from the leading makers of quality garments, including Under Armour, Nike, Adidas, Holloway, Badger, among other top brand manufacturers. Big Daddy Graphics offers screen printing and embroidery for anyone from the sports world to the corporate one. They also offer promotional products emblazoned with logos. They can put your logo on nearly 1 million different types of promotional products, from coffee cups to golf tees, key fobs to lanyards, and hundreds of thousands of other products. So whether you live your life on the field or in the office, Big Daddy Graphics has you covered. To get started on your design, visit bigdaddy-graphics.com.
This is Ben Marshall, and this is the Nerdball Podcast. Woo!
Awesome.
This is the Nerdball Podcast with Lorenzo Melcher.
All right, man. Thanks for coming on again.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for asking me. Come on.
Yeah,
I enjoyed this the first time.
You had to rush over from being at the cottage this morning.
Yeah, which is fine. I knew that I actually was planning on leaving last night to get home, and then the Buckeye game was on, and I wasn't in any state to really drive right away. So I slept until 6. I complain about having to wake up early, but I actually am pretty good at it, and how excited to get up early all the time.
Yeah.
I actually work out in the mornings nowadays. So.
Oh, do you really? So what time do you get up for that?
Yeah, like 4 o'clock.
Really?
Yeah, not every day. So sometimes it's like 4, sometimes it's 5.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm so used to getting up so early. Like, it's just funny though. I can't get over my crappy attitude about waking up early though.
You do it so often, but you're like,
yeah, I don't. God, I have to get up early.
I know. It's the same way. I mean, I'm fine in the morning. Like, I don't even drink coffee or anything.
Yeah, me neither.
And but I wake up about 5:15 every day for work, and it sucks. But
yeah, for sure. I don't know why. It's funny that you say that. I'm stupid. I think I don't know why I had this weird thing where I think look down upon people that have to drink coffee in the morning because I don't.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why though.
Yeah,
It's just mean for me to think that way. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever felt that way, but I'm glad I don't have to.
Yeah, me too.
You know?
Yeah.
Because it's also another step that would make my morning longer. Because right now I get up with just enough time to get dressed. We have the ducks now, so I got to go feed the ducks in the morning and then take off.
Yeah,
you know?
right, exactly. And I wouldn't want to have to deal with all that. And
yeah.
I feel like, and I just get irritated because like my wife like spills her coffee in the car and stuff like that, and that's like it just pisses me off. I'm just like, okay, if you just didn't drink coffee, then I wouldn't have to. We wouldn't have to clean. It's just funny. But some people tell me that drinking coffee is a very American thing to do, historically speaking, because like the Boston Tea Party, tea is what like English people drink. We drink coffee like almost as a as a protest against the English people back in the day. And so it's an American thing. And I'm like, nah, I think it's dumb.
I think I drank more coffee when I was a little kid, sipping some, bringing it to my parents than I did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because on the weekends. My parents would always sleep in, and I'd make them coffee, and my sisters would make them coffee, and there's always way too much sugar and milk in it. So it was almost like hot chocolate.
Yeah, right.
So I'd be bringing it to them, taking sips, and then just dripping it along the carpet the whole way to their bedroom. I don't know if I gotta ask my mom and dad. I don't even know if they enjoyed it or they knew it was hot garbage. And but they needed coffee.
Yeah, right.
know?
Well, I know some people. Like, in fact, Lexi's aunt, who was at the cottage just this weekend, was talking about how she's not really a coffee drinker; she's a creamer drinker, and she she just really likes coffee for the creamer. And it's like, why? See, that's the other thing about coffee for me is I think it tastes awful. It's not a good tasting a drink, and so
I don't think so either.
And so putting creamer in it and stuff, I feel like it just makes it taste. It tastes like crap, but with creamer in it is what it tastes like to me.
It's a hot milkshake.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not a big fan.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never needed it. I wake up fine. I mean, I don't wake up fine. Like I used to tell people, when because I had a friend that does. He used to try to encourage me to work out.
Yeah.
He does something called F3. My friend, his name's Jake Whitmer.
Someone needs to encourage me to work out.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, come out. It's fun, And I'm like, but they would get up, like, I don't know when the workouts are, maybe 5 o'clock or something.
Oh, are those dudes that hold flags and do stuff downtown?
Maybe they do. They a lot of their big thing is rucking, where they put on the rucksacks and they march around, but they do other workouts too.
Yeah.
But at the time, I was like, no, I'm not getting up that early for that, because like when I get up. Even when I get up now, at the time when I get up at 6 o'clock for work, I'm semi-suicidal. So I can't just be getting up that early. But now I like it. So
because for me, as soon as I leave, as soon as I get in my truck, I'm awake, ready. It doesn't take me very long to get up, ready to go.
Yeah, me too.
And I guess that's good because now I'm a supervisor at work. So if I was a jerk when I got to work,
yeah.
Like, oh man, he needs a couple hours still.
Yeah, it is a grumpy guy here.
I had a boss. His name is Brian. His name is Brian at UT. He's still there. But he was that way, and he's a very good boss, but we knew like, hey, let's give him a few hours in the morning before we start coming to him with problems.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Let's let him wake up.
Yeah, exactly. That's another thing that, I just have this like hatred for coffee. I don't know why. See, I hate it when people say things like, don't bother me until I have my coffee. I'm like, shut up.
This is a professional environment.
Coffee is not an excuse for being an asshole. So, anyway.
Oh, man. But you were talking about you watched a lot of college football yesterday.
Oh yeah,
you came in with your Are you a Longhorns fan?
I am. For not any good reason. I mean, my brother lives in a field like just outside of Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
And when Tom Herman, right? Yeah. When Tom Herman became the head coach, that also kind of helped me okay, I like Tom Herman because he was the offensive coordinator of the Buckeyes when they won the championship. So. Those two things in combination, I just kind of became a Longhorns fan at that point.
Oh, okay.
Although obviously Tom Herman's not there anymore, but still, now I really like this hat, so I have to be a Longhorns fan. So
well, you could just have a hat. At one point before I started really liking Texas, I had both a Texas shirt and an Oklahoma shirt.
Oh, really?
Yes.
People were probably like, "What is wrong with you?"
I'd wear them both. That was when remember Stephen Barry's. Did you ever go to Stephen Barry's?
No. Oh, the store you mean?
The clothing store.
Oh,
yes.
I love, dude, Lorenzo. I love that store, dude.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, that's my favorite store, dude.
Before BG got one, there was the one we would always go to was in Lancaster on the way to Ohio University.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So when we go visit my friends down there,
we'd
stop there all the time. I always get a bunch of cheap hoodies and t-shirts. And
Stephen Barry's, dude. Is that like entirely out of business?
There's nothing, man.
This doesn't exist anymore?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I can Google it and see what comes up, but I don't think anything.
My wife made fun of me so bad for years and still does, because there was like a year or two where Stephen Barry's was in BG and I bought all my wardrobe from there. Everything. Pants, shirts, hoodies, everything. It was so cheap and I liked it. And she's like, "You are a nerd. Like, who shops at Stephen Barry's for their entire wardrobe?" I was like, "I do."
Well, it's mostly uppers. You had a lot of uppers and then throw in some jeans.
Yeah, right.
But especially being a college student, you could buy a t-shirt for $5.
Yeah,
and it was a nice t-shirt.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe not. I shouldn't say nice quality wise, but it looked nice.
Yes, exactly.
Maybe it might have been 1,000% cotton, and it was super hot. But it was still, it was still. They were nice stuff, know, and that's where you could buy. Do you remember Starberries?
Starberries, no.
What's his name? It was a basketball player. He was a bald-headed basketball player. He played for the Knicks. His last name was Starberry. What was his first name? Why can't I think of what it was? Anyway, he had like a whole apparel line
Through Stephen
Barry's. Mostly shoes.
Okay.
But yeah, he had a bunch of stuff there. Right now, it's going to bother me that I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really. I've never really followed basketball, and so I don't know like any basketball players' names.
You never liked it?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
Stephon Marbury. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah. There was his shoes. A pair of sneakers cost $15.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
that's a good deal.
So it was like one of those things like, hey, I want to make my stuff affordable.
Yeah.
And also it's Stephen Barry, so everything's there has to be affordable.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That's probably why they went out of business, though, is because they were so cheap. They probably were making no profits.
It'd be nice to know why, and I'm sure that it's out there, and all you gotta do is Google it. But yeah, because it was such a cool place. Like I said, especially they're in college towns. So it's cool for kids. Right. Kids love all that stuff.
Oh yeah, dude. I was doing that when I was in high school. Someone told me about it, and I was like, all right, I want to go there. And I went there. And I was like, this place is huge and has everything. So, yeah, I was a big fan of Stephen Barry's, even though my wife likes to make fun of me for it.
You know how long ago it closed?
No.
2009. That was so long ago.
Yeah, dude. Wow, that was over 10 years ago.
Yes.
Holy moly.
So they had, by 2008, they had 276 stores in 39 states. And then they liquidated everything in 2008 and 2009.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
So they had a lot of stores.
Yeah, they did.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Huh. I don't know, man.
Wow.
Yeah, yesterday's football was insane. So BG beat Minnesota, which was, I don't know how that happened. From what I understand, BG sucks.
There were 31-point underdogs too.
31 points.
Yeah.
That is stupid.
Yeah. So I didn't even know it was on. I knew they were playing out of town somewhere because Cade's mom posted a picture of her on a flight. So I knew they were going somewhere. I just didn't know where it was.
Yeah.
And then
wow, that's gotta be exciting for the Zimmerly family. Holy moly.
Man. So he started at center the first two games.
Yeah.
Second game he had several high snaps. I was told, I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
He lost his starting job.
Okay.
But Coach Dave Russell told me that he was so mad about losing his job that they put him at guard just to keep him in there, and then he became the starting guard.
Oh, nice.
So he's still starting. They just moved his position.
That's awesome. Good for him.
Yeah, but that game yesterday, man, again, Coach Russell was like, hey, BG just pulled out this big upset, and they said their defense was really good. I was like, ooh, I wonder what the score was. And they only gave up 10 points.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, and the funny thing is, I was just talking to, I think it was one of my assistant coaches, or no, it was one of the 8th grade assistant coaches, Coach Newell. And he said he knows a guy that he either knows a guy or knows a guy who knows a guy who is on the staff at BGSU.
Yeah.
And he said, last year we were bad. This year we're embarrassing.
Well, and it's because a lot of people transferred too. They lost a lot of people.
Yeah, but then they pulled off this win against Minnesota, which is insane because Ohio State struggled with Minnesota a little bit.
Yeah.
It was sort of close, and so that's pretty impressive. And I think the other thing another big thing was that a factor in that was Minnesota's really good running back got hurt in that Buckeye game, and so I think, and he's still out.
Oh,
so
really?
I think that hurt Minnesota's offense a little bit.
Yeah.
Not having him because I think he was like their star.
I don't know. Still, the 5th best running back should probably be better than BG.
I would think so. Yeah.
Anything BG has to tackle him.
You would think so. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The Buckeye game was good too. They actually looked like they did what they were supposed to do.
Yeah.
Right, which hasn't happened yet this year. So.
I saw the first quarter. I think it was the first quarter. It was 7-7 still.
Yeah. They scored the first touchdown. Akron did.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. But
their quarterback was good.
I don't think they scored after that. Did they?
No, I don't think so. But it was frustrating because and I am a Buckeye fan, but I'm not like a diehard type of person. But the quarterback they had in there, McCord, I was not impressed with him at all.
No?
I felt like his passes were not very good, and he can't run either. So it's like, why are we even having this dude in here?
How come? I thought the other one was going to play a little. Well, I guess he did. He threw 8 passes, but
Miller or whatever. Yeah, I thought he was better, but I mean, what do I know? I'm not the coach. I'm not at practice, so I know nothing. But
so when Stroud was in there, I saw someone post something on Facebook about we need. This person went to Ohio State. They graduated from there, and they're like, we need a better quarterback, or I was like, this dude almost threw for 500 yards.
Yeah,
and I think it's because they expect so much out of quarterbacks. Like even yesterday, he had over 300 yards passing.
Yeah, right.
It's not, and he was averaging 24 yards of completion.
Yeah,
so it's not like it's horrible, but I don't know. I think Ohio State fans and just expect. a lot.
I mean, and that's the thing. It's an impossible. The standard that Ohio State fans have for the football team are impossible standards. Like we want to be in the championship. We want to win the Big Ten championship and be in the national championship every year and win the national championship every year. Like it's just like it's a standard that cannot be upheld every single year.
Yeah,
especially now with the transfer portal. Like kids can just go wherever they want.
Yeah,
at any time, any day, and they can just not any day, but they can go to whatever team and start playing right away. Mm-hmm. Which I think that rule significantly is changing college football. Which in a good or a bad way, I guess, just depends on how you look at it. I mean, Michigan State sucked last year. Now they're really good because of several transfers that they had come in.
Mm-hmm.
from what I've heard. I mean, again, I'm not a diehard fan, but just I watch TV for 4 seconds and I gather all that information.
You're like, I know everything.
Yeah, now I know what I need to know. Yeah.
Well, I mean, and everybody, it's not just like, hey, this, because a lot of times it used to be, hey, I'm not getting a lot of playing time at this big school. I'm going to go to this smaller school.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
But now I saw the running back from Oklahoma transfer from an SEC school. And, and he went to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Like it's
right. Yeah.
I guess wherever.
Yeah.
And also the NIL is going to change all that too.
Oh, really?
The where you can, name, image, and likeness,
Oh, right.
kids coming out of high school.
Sure.
That's
that's
why what's his name?
Oh, yeah.
Skipped his senior year.
Yeah.
To go to Ohio State.
Yeah.
Quinn Ewers?
Yeah. I mean, that's another thing that's going to change college football, and I don't know if it's for the better or not. I don't know with kids making money and stuff. We had a huge conversation about this yesterday at the party I was at, and it's just like, they're 18-year-olds or 19 years old. I don't know. Like you saw, have you ever seen the 30 for 30 where all those professional football players like went broke?
Yeah.
And those guys are like 20 something. Now we're going to give millions of dollars to a lot of money to 18 or 19 year olds. Like these kids don't know anything. Like they're going to, I don't know. I just don't see, there's got to be, being a teacher, there's got to be education somewhere, like prepare these kids to like, you're going to have a lot of money, but don't just blow it.
Well, maybe that should have been a part of this rule going in too. Like, hey, that's fine. We can do name, image, and likeness, but you got to take these classes or whatever to know what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. You just don't want, you just want the best for these kids, and you don't want them to make silly decisions that, I mean, you and I would have made if we were 18 years old making a bunch of money.
Like what would you have done with that much money? And I got my first credit card when I was in BG.
Yeah.
I signed up to get a free T-shirt. I got
yeah.
It was an Absolute BG shirt, so it was like the Absolute vodka stuff.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. And it was $500 limit, and I immediately bought an Xbox and maxed that thing out.
My gosh! Right, exactly. Yeah, it's like free money.
Yeah, can you imagine like what?
Yeah,
with the quarterback from Alabama who signed for over $1 million has this deal. Like
well, and yeah, exactly. Like you could buy cars and houses and whatever. And the other, I think the other thing that's going to be interesting is, these companies. I don't know what company's doing it, but the dude that is the new Clemson quarterback, I don't know who.
Oh, DJ Ukulele.
Yeah. He's got a big deal with some commercial, right? Commercial day, and he's not even doing all that well this year. And it's like
the whole team. I mean, they lost yesterday.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So it's like these companies are putting a lot of money into this dude, and it's like maybe we shouldn't have because this kid's not as good as we thought he was going to be. I don't know. It's just it seems kind of silly, in my opinion.
But it is. Man, he sucked yesterday. He was 12 of 26 for 111 yards.
12 for 26 for 100. Yeah, that's not good as a quarterback.
Yeah. Well, it is like gambling for these companies. Like, hey, you're a big name, and sometimes I guess you don't need to be good.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially, I think college football. If you're like the main dude in this small town, like then this company can give you X amount of dollars.
Right.
It doesn't even have to be the $1 million. It can be like, hey, I'm going to pay you $10,000.
Yeah, right. Right. That's true. Yeah, it's still a ton. Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. There, and maybe you'll discover a talent that you didn't know you were going to discover. Like Baker Mayfield, who obviously is a pretty decent quarterback, but he's amazing at commercials, though. Yeah. Like he has great commercials. Like he has a future in that. So this football thing doesn't work out. He's got something else.
Yeah. And you're right. People and some people like that. That's why teams go to LA or players go to LA to play whatever sport. Because like, hey, I want to also try to do this.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man. Football. How's the season going? I've been able to watch a few of your games.
Oh yeah. Oh, my 7th grade team. Yeah. We're good. I mean, it's a pretty standard year for me where I lose to Anthony Wayne but win all my other games.
Are they good? Are they close games to Anthony Wayne?
Yeah. This year it was we lost 12-8. And I know everyone says this, but so it's cliche, but we were for sure the better football team.
Yeah.
But we had so many penalties, and some of them were crap. Like we got homered a little bit.
Okay.
Like the referees called. I swear to God, not every time, but nearly every time we had a 10 plus
a big play.
It was a holding penalty. It's like, come on, dude. And the one referee, he just made me angry. He told me he called this hold penalty on our H-back for. He's like, I told him he can't. He's holding him like this, and I told him he can't do it, and he did it, so I'm penalizing him for it. I'm like, You mean he had his hands to the inside and he was grabbing the chest plate of the shoulder pads of the kid he was blocking? Yeah, that's not a hold. That's how you're supposed to. Yeah, that's called blocking. Yeah. That's how every human or every O-line coach on planet Earth teach their guys to block.
I tell my guys all the time, I go, guys, I was an honorable mention All-State lineman, and I held probably every play.
Yeah, exactly. If you're not holding, you're not blocking.
You just got to be good at it.
Yeah. I mean, you got to be good at
and smart.
Right. To me, a hold, and I don't read the rule book, so maybe I'm wrong, but to me, holding is like when you like tackle the dude, like you put your arms around him, or you grab his arm, or grab the back of his jersey, or something. Like if you're holding his chest plate. Like, that's how you're supposed to block, as long as you're moving your feet.
It just depends on what the defender's doing, too. If he's trying to turn and go, then they're going to catch him for it, regardless of where he's at.
So maybe that's what it was. I don't know. So, but it unfortunately, we've out-penalized every game we've played, really? our opponent every single game.
Seems like a coaching problem.
For sure, coaching problem. Like, I mean, our head coach has a problem. It's indicative of like kind of a lack of discipline that has been shown not just on the football field, but off the football field with this team. This team has been kind of frustrating for me. And so I like them. They're very good athletes, and they're going to be very good for Perrysburg one day. But like, if they don't figure out how to be disciplined and like do what they're supposed to, not everybody, obviously, just like I'm just mean in general, based on all the other teams I've had more issues off the field with these kids. It just sucks. It's like it makes the season more stressful. And it feels like I have to babysit them more and that type of thing.
And as they get older, because I experienced that too as a 7th grade coach, where we had Coach Kriegel come down and had to talk to a group because of X, Y, and Z were happening. You know? But as they get older and just more coaching, because for some of these kids, and maybe not so much now because there's big gold and stuff, but for some of these kids, like this is their first sport. Like I get to ride a bus to sport, or
for sure
to the contest and all this stuff. So it's like a lot's changing.
Yeah. It's the first for a lot of them. Yeah.
And as they get older, a lot of that, and then they get older and mature too.
Yeah, exactly.
That's part of it too. Like you're dealing with these kids going through a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Tell me about it, dude. I mean, teaching them. I've never. This has got to be the record season for the number of missing mouth guards I've ever had. It's like, guys, strap the damn thing to your helmet. Yeah. Like, stop losing them. It's so stupid because he can't play without a mouth guard.
Yeah,
it's like it's a very prohibitive thing to lose in terms of playing. So anyway, there's that.
So have you never beat Anthony Wayne?
Not as a Perrysburg coach, I haven't.
Really?
I beat him once when I was at Bowling Green, but not as a Perrysburg coach. So it sucks. Like this dude's got my number, man.
And that is in the back of your mind too.
It is, unfortunately.
Like, I'm like 0-4 or 5 or whatever.
Which is I mean, again, it's really not about winning in the championships and all that stuff at 7th grade. But it's like, God, I want to beat these guys at least one time. But whatever. I mean, like I said, we out penalized them by a lot, even without the ones that I think were crap calls. Like we still out penalized them by a lot because of false starts and things like that. It's like, guys, you're giving me an aneurysm.
After a while, he's like, what can I say? Anymore?
Right. And I mean, it just sucks because we were. And it happened on defense too. We had a lot of penalties on defense where he was calling face mask calls, like shedding a block by using his face mask and things like that. So I don't know. I don't have the film, so I can't like verify anything they did or called or whatever. And it doesn't matter anyway. But yeah, honestly, and I don't even know if I should say this, but like I am thinking about like maybe not being the 7th grade coach after this year. Yeah, I don't.
I would imagine it's a combination of just the amount of time and then family stuff too.
Well, and the thing is, I just really, really like coaching football, and I don't like the outside stuff. I don't like dealing with parents. I don't like, and I don't like the discipline problems with the football players and stuff like that. In 7th grade, you have a lot of that because, like we said, it's just the nature of that age level.
Yeah.
It's also the nature of that age level with parents too, because for parents, it's their first time having their child probably experience failure, you know, like at a sport, because before this they were all starters, like in big gold and things like that. And it's hard to watch your kid not succeed the way you think that they should. Yeah. So I get it, but I don't want to have to deal with it. I don't want to be the head coach anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to have to deal with that. So honestly, me and my wife had talked about like potentially, I'm not saying that I'm going to do this for sure, but it's definitely in the back of my mind about maybe next year, if Coach Connor will let me, maybe just volunteer coaching for like either the freshman or the varsity or something, because I just want to move up. Like I want to coach older kids anyway. I've always have, but and I don't. It's not even. And at this point in me and Lexi's career, it's not really about money anymore. I don't need to get paid for coaching football. I want to coach because I just want to coach.
Well, the good thing about you already and having all your certifications, like it's an easy, like yeah, you can volunteer. Go ahead.
Yeah,
you
right.
know?
So I mean, I know that creates a headache for some people because you have to hire a new person, which I don't. I hate doing that to my AD, and I hate doing that to Dirk too because he has to get involved in that as well. But I just, for the sake of my sanity and my family, and that's the other thing. And I talked to Scott Bucher about this, like, you know, it affects my family life too. Because when I go home and I'm like, you know, I just got an email from a parent and I'm angry and I don't, you know, I'm angry. And so I'm coming home with this anger and this stress, and it affects my relationship with my wife. Not significantly, but it just ruined our night. You know what I mean? Like we were planning, like there was the one night we were planning on watching, I think, a Buckeye game, and just like hanging out, drinking beers and watching a Buckeye game, just having like a little date night at home type of thing, you know? And then that night it didn't happen because we got mad at each other because I was mad about the parent email I just got about football. And it's like, it's so not worth it. You know?
And that's where like it starts creeping in. If it starts creeping at home, like coming in at home, it's one thing to like have to answer an email every once in a while because that's going to happen, even as a teacher, right?
Oh, for sure.
So, but it's one thing for that to like just happen a little bit, but once it starts affecting other things, and it doesn't have to be a large scale. You know, it's good that you guys recognize right now. You know, where it's like, hey, this is kind of affecting happiness. You know, maybe not just home, but in general. Like,
exactly.
I don't feel as good as I used to or whatever. And as far as like, you know, having to affect people, like it's going to affect another person if you leave, like that's a good human being feeling to have, right? But ultimately it shouldn't matter. Like when I left UT to go to the Metro Parks, I knew I was leaving my boss, and we only had 3 people when I was there, so it was two people. We were going to be down another person when I left, and it sucked because they were friends of mine.
Exactly.
You know? And Andrea told me, she's like, it's you know, you got to do what's best for you, and they'll figure it out. I said, I know, but it still doesn't make it feel any better.
For sure. I had that same feeling when I left Bowling Green to come to Perrysburg as a teacher. I mean, I really liked Bowling Green, and I love the people there, and you know, I didn't want to make anyone's life harder, but again, like you said, you got to do what's best for your family. And you know, Lexi, with the whole football thing, she pointed out pretty quickly. She's like, listen, we don't need this money anymore. Like for football, it's nice, but we don't need it. And you like coaching football, and you don't really have any aspirations to be a head coach, and that's true. I don't. Like I like a varsity head coach. Like I just want to. I'm not a very ambitious person in general, which is
Well, it's not that. It's just you know what you want.
Exactly.
And it doesn't have to be. You don't have to shoot for the stars.
I'm not. Exactly. I just want to have a comfortable life and enjoy myself, and so part of that is coaching football, and I don't want something. So she's like, you should just volunteer coach and go volunteer for the varsity next year. Like that'd be awesome. And I was like, and maybe even just freshman. I mean, I would take a volunteer position at freshman if that was what Dirk wanted me to do, because it's older kids. This is what I want. And freshman is less time commitment also than varsity, I think, right? I mean, slightly less.
Timing wise. We're at practice a little bit later with varsity. Yeah.
So it's just like
also, I always tell volunteers too, like if I had a volunteer when I was a freshman, or even the volunteers this year. We just got a new one. Adam Oros, do you remember him? He played. He just graduated last year. His brother's on the team now.
Nick.
So he asked if he could volunteer, and I said, here's how you do it, and I gave him all the info. So he's out there now, and I tell everyone, you're a volunteer. You tell us when you want to be there. If you want to be there every day, cool. If you want to be there 3 days a week, including game day, that's fine too. Just let us know so we can plan accordingly.
Yes, exactly. And so that was another thing that Scott Bucher pointed out to me. He's like, listen, you can kind of make your own schedule when you're a volunteer. And so like, and I still have little kids. I still have a 2-year-old at home and a 7 and a 6-year-old. So it's like, that would be a nice, perk of doing that. So, and again, it also maybe get my foot in the door for one day when, there is an opening at either freshman or varsity that it's like, oh, well, you can have a paid position, right? And at that point, my kids will be older, and I'll feel more comfortable putting in that kind of time. Although I would do it now anyway, because if Dirk was like, "Hey, I need a coach. You want to do it?" I'd be like, "Yup." But it would, at the same time, it would be easier on my family if they were older, if my kids were older, I should say. So,
I've been coaching before we even had kids, and it is tough. And I always tell Andrea, and I've told a lot of people this, like, every year I let her know, like, hey, I don't have to coach this year. If you don't want me to, I won't coach, or I'll volunteer this year and step back. You know, and she because it's a lot of work, especially this year. You know, we're at practice a little bit later than we used to be with Coach Kriegel. She has to do more getting the kids play to and from places. And so it's tough, and it is. If you're going to be a coach in football, it's not just you; it's your whole family.
It's the whole family for sure. Yeah,
and now this year it's a little easier because they both go to the games. Mateo's the water boy for varsity.
Yeah, I saw that. That's awesome.
So he gets to be out there. You know, it's really cool, and then he helps me out on Saturday mornings too.
Oh,
so
cool.
It's fun. You know, as they get older, they get more involved
because he likes doing that too.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Right there. Although yesterday he goes, Dad, do I have to be water boy today, or can I just watch? I go, you can watch from the stands, but if you're on the sideline, you got to have a job.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I said, okay.
Yeah, my son is, you know, he plays flag football like your son does, and he's starting to get into that kind of stuff, and he likes going to the games, and he actually sat and watched for a little while with some of his friends, like where the teachers sit, like in the end zone or whatever, and so it's cool to see him enjoy football. I'm excited for, you know, maybe one day he'll be the ball boy or something like that or whatever. You know, it's cool. I'm glad he likes football, I guess is what I'm saying. I coach his flag football team.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, and it's actually funny. I get more stressed about those games than my own 7th grade games. and I think part of it is just because I feel like I don't know as much about flag football. You know what I mean? It's not the same game.
Yeah.
And at that age group, you can't pass a lot, which is what the name of the game for flag football for the most part is. And we're also in a age group where it's first and second graders, and I have primarily first graders. And so if we go against a team that's like primarily second graders, we get annihilated. And it's not fun.
I coached several years of flag football with Mateo, and I had first and second graders. I had half my team was kindergartners.
Oh man,
because I knew the guy that put the stuff together, and he knew that I coached other sports. So he was like, you might have a couple kindergartners. I was like, yeah, that's fine. It doesn't matter if we win or lose.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think half my team was kindergartners, which we still did pretty good. I mean, we got crushed by one team because everyone got crushed by that team.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It's like you said, it is different. So it was cool trying to come up with like different things and different plays. Yeah. And then you always steal stuff from the other team. For
sure, dude.
Like, you can do that? Yeah, let's do that. You know, one of my favorite things to do, last year I did it, was to have the quarterback just hand the ball off to the running back, and then have the running back stand back there like he's the quarterback.
Be the quarterback so he can scramble.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then like if and then have everyone just go downfield. If no one's open, he just runs.
Yep.
And I was leaving the dome, and I just happened to see that. I'm like, oh my god, that's such a good play.
That's a brilliant idea. Yeah. I know. Yeah. Once I heard about that idea, I started doing it too. I was like, and it was funny. Actually, last week my son's flag football team played. Do you know Brian Whitner?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, his son was. We were playing his son's team. They're the Hurricanes, and we beat them 8-6. And Brian's stepson Tanner Durr is on my 7th grade team, so he was there at the game. And at 7th grade football practice the next day, the next day I was like, I have an announcement to make, everyone. My son's flag football team beat Tanner's brother's football team today on Sunday. So make sure to give him some crap about him.
That's funny.
And Tanner just went crazy. He was like, what? You guys aren't even good. You hit one stupid plays and blah, 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 blah. I was like, okay, but we won.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Wow.
Yeah.
Another thing about your 7th grade team. You have a big group. And you play two schedules.
We do, yeah. This is the first year that we've really had that. Or I mean, like in a while at least.
Yeah.
So we have 65 players on the team this year,
which is awesome.
Which is awesome,
and I'm sure
very hard.
Yeah.
It's a great thing for the program. It's awful for me as a 7th grade coach.
Yeah, it's hard.
No, it's cool. I've had big teams but the 2 teams I had before the COVID year were both about 50, which is a lot of kids still. But 65 is a whole other like lineup, you know. It's
and you had to find like more equipment too, right?
Oh yeah, there was definitely that fiasco where some kids are wearing practice jerseys as game jerseys, like which are our old game jerseys.
Yes, yeah.
But so they're wearing those as their game jerseys, and helmets has been an issue this year because I don't know, nobody can find helmets. It's not just us. It's like everybody's had a shortage on helmets this year. So there's that aspect, and then there's been a lot of learning experiences for me, like dealing with a team this large. You know, I've had issues with, parents emailing me and talking to me and this and that. It's like and a lot of them have been I shouldn't even say a lot of them, most of them, like a huge majority of parents have been so supportive and been like, I get it. You have 65 guys. This is not be, so overall, the parents have been amazing this year, really. Because they're very understanding.
And usually that is every year.
That's usually, for sure.
The ones that cause you pain, it's just one or two a year.
Yeah, and they're just making a lot of noise.
Yeah.
So, So, but at the same time, I've learned a lot from how to how to manage a team that large better. So, I started, in the very beginning of the season, I did a couple practices where we'd have 2 team sessions at the same time, where I would have an offense and a defense and an offense. And so a lot less kids were on the sideline. I'd have to just run a play over here and then run a play over here.
Yeah.
And I got away from that a little bit because I was trying to focus on teaching the starters and the second stringers and stuff. But then I had like 40 plus people standing on the sideline and they'd get subbed in every once in a while. But that's a management nightmare too. So, the one parent pointed that out to me and I was like, yeah, you're probably right. Maybe I should start doing that more. And so I went back. So almost every team session now we do is 2 groups. Yeah. Which it's, and that's hard though too, because you're trying to coach these guys, but then you have to run a play over here. And so you're like talking to these guys, but these guys got to run a play. Otherwise they're just standing there. And
can you, and I don't know if you can, but can you just make a script and have another coach just...
Oh yeah, maybe I could.
I don't know. There's some coaches that have to be able to like, hey, I got to run everything.
Yeah, right.
And at least they're running plays.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe it's not like, hey, we got to fix this problem or whatever.
Yeah.
But at least they're out there running plays, and you can still concentrate on what you want to do with the first group and second group.
Right. Exactly. That's not a bad idea. Actually, doing a script like that.
And even if it's 10, 15 plays and they get done before you are, then keep doing them again.
Yeah, do them all over again.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, I probably should do something like that. That would be that would actually make it a little bit easier because we have 4 coaches. So it is a challenge, coaching. With when you have, and this is the case with anybody coaching that's not at varsity level. When you have a bunch of coaches, is that you're a position group coach, but I'm also a coordinator, so I'm calling plays and I'm trying to focus on what the offense is doing, but I'm not. So it's taking away from my ability to concentrate on what the linebacker's doing, who's my position group for defense. You know what I mean? So it's like but it's okay. The defensive coordinator kind of picks up that slack for me too, so it works out fine. But it is a juggling act. When you have even we're lucky to have 4 coaches. Most 7th grade teams do not have 4 coaches. And anywhere like we only had 2 at Bowling Green.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's what we have. The amount of freshman coaches we have. When I was the freshman coach, we had 2.
Yeah.
Until my last year, I believe. But yeah, it was me and Kelly Hunt, and then me and Windsor, and then we had some volunteers, or maybe even an extra paid position. I can't remember. But now I think they have 5 coaches.
Right now they do?
Including volunteers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so it's nice to have all that. And they have headsets. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my last year we used headsets.
Nice.
Because crew got new ones, so we got
you got the old ones. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, so that adds a totally different.
Yeah.
Especially if you have someone in the box. Like I think when Drew Sims hurt his knee, we had home games and he'd be up in the box and he'd be like, hey, run this, or they're doing this, you should be. And it like makes the game so much better because I was just talking to Dirk yesterday. We lost to Southview JV 22-24, and I was like, it's so hard to call plays and then try to see what they're doing.
Yeah,
because I'm still trying to watch our guys.
Yeah,
exactly. Just like you were saying in practice.
Yeah, right.
Like how are they lining up, or what are they doing, or what can't we do?
Exactly.
Right. It makes it because I don't have anybody in my ears to let me know.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say you can't see as well from down there.
Yeah.
And, it's like, especially the alignment of the defensive lineman. It's like, is he in 3 technique or is he head up or like, where is he? And you have to ask the lineman. And 7th graders are sometimes good at reporting what's going on.
Well, I try to like see, like yesterday, they put 2 guys over one of our best receivers.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, okay, so it's leaving a gap and we've been able to run this play. And so we run it, we get 10, 12 yards, or one time we score a touchdown. Nice. Then we run it again and we lose yardage. I'm like, how is this happening? Because it's so hard to see.
Yeah.
My assumptions were correct that we should be able to do it because I watched film.
Yeah.
We filmed the JV game, so I watched film last night. And then I'm like, okay, well, I know exactly why we're doing it, and now I can articulate that and show them like this is you guys weren't doing a good job about this particular thing because we should have scored every time on this play. Because of but we didn't because this guy was slow pulling or this guy didn't block anybody or whatever.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
but it's hard to see that.
It is. That was one of the nice things I had. I think last year and maybe even the year before that. I had parents that were willing to film my games for me and share them with me, and so I actually got to at least watch our games after we played them.
Yeah.
And give feedback to the players after that. But I don't have anybody this year with film, or I mean, there might be some parents that are filming. I don't know, but I haven't really reached out to get film on our games or anything. But it is helpful for like coaching, like you actually see what. Because you don't see everything, obviously, when it's live. So it's nice to be able to like go back and say, "Oh, wow, this guy's not pulling, or this guy's not, or he's, whatever, whatever the case may be."
We have a drone too now.
Oh yeah, so Andrew Stewart or whatever is doing, or not Andrew, Matthew Stewart. Yeah, I saw that. That's cool.
So that's how our JV games are filmed, and I love that.
That's like, cool.
It's such a cool angle to see everything.
It's like a video game.
Yes, it is. And I saw that someone posted about there was a camera, the sky cam in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like, can we just make this the default view? Because this is awesome.
Yeah,
that's real. What it is. It's cool to see all that.
That is cool.
And then with, I always watch film on the iPad when we project it. So I have the iPad. The iPad, you can zoom in on stuff too.
Oh, nice.
So because we're pretty far away, but you can zoom in and look at things. And I love using Huddle because you can draw in there and say, hey, this is what it's supposed to look like.
Right.
You guys are doing it wrong.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
I do like we get to film our JV games and watch film with JV.
Oh, really? That's cool. When do you watch it with them? Mondays?
Usually Mondays and sometimes Thursdays, I think.
Yeah.
We get to watch Wednesdays. One of those days we get to watch film.
Nice.
So that's cool too because they get to see.
Yeah.
As opposed to just like going through the same stuff over and over again. Like I keep telling you this.
Right. Exactly.
Because it makes it a lot easier, and they're more willing, just like with anybody, more willing to make changes if they can see what they're doing wrong.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Who's is Nick Oros your running back at JV? I know he got kind of hurt in one game. Was that a serious injury or no?
No. I use three.
Oh, okay.
I use him, Schmidbauer, and Aiden Owens.
Oh, Aiden Owens, yeah. He's a good runner.
Yeah, so I use those three.
Schmidbauer, I've never even heard of him.
He's Drew Schmidbauer. His older brother was Adam.
Okay.
He graduated 2 years ago, I think. I can't remember.
Okay. I must not have had him. I mean, he didn't play for me, I don't think.
Yeah. He's a good little running back. He had some really good runs last year or yesterday.
Nice.
Drew
that's cool.
Yeah, but
oh wait, this is JV. So is Blue Ball your quarterback then? Okay.
He's played really well for a freshman.
Right.
He's done a really good job. I told him yesterday, our last play, there was like 30 some seconds left. I just ran a seams, ran a go route, and he said there was nobody open. So and then the pocket collapsed, so he was trying to squirt through. He fumbled it, and they got the ball.
Yeah.
And I just told him, he went on the bench, and I just told him, like, hey, this is just, I was like, you've been playing really well as a freshman, you know, and these are just these are mistakes that you had to figure out on the field. And I said, was anybody open? Because I was looking at you. He goes, no. I said, well, then you got to throw it away. Yeah. I go, not just throw a rocket to the sideline because that's a penalty.
Yeah.
I'll overthrow everybody.
Yeah.
Just throw it out of there.
Yeah.
And then we get to play, another play.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, just learn, it's just learning mistakes. And,
yeah.
But he's really good. He's been good. I'm glad that he's there because we had Gavin Finnegan as another quarterback, but I told both of them because I was switching them out at the beginning of the year. I was like, Gavin, do you just want to play wide receiver? He goes, yeah, I'd rather just play wide receiver. I said, okay. So now Dylan's the full-time quarterback.
Oh, nice.
So
cool. Yeah. And he's a pretty athletic kid, so he can probably run the ball a little bit too.
Yeah. He ran really well, he does run really well.
Yeah.
So
that's nice to have. I mean, I feel like just like with Ohio State, I feel like Perrysburg, I think everybody's the same way. I feel like when you have a running quarterback, or a quarterback that can run, I should say, I think that's such a good weapon. It's almost like what's the word? It's like you almost have to have that to be really successful. In spread, yeah. Because obviously you don't have as many running backs, and so it's nice to have that. I mean, and we've talked about this before about how some of the best years Perrysburg's had was with a quarterback that could run the ball.
Yeah.
So,
and even if you don't, you gotta show that, hey, this quarterback can still get 25 to 35 yards a game.
Yup. Exactly. And I've been pleasantly surprised at how well TJ has run the ball this year.
Yeah.
You know,
He's pretty fast.
He is. He's a lot faster than I think a lot of people probably gave him credit for.
Yeah.
He does a good job.
Yep.
But it's scary when you run the quarterback though too. So
yes, it is. Yeah.
You don't want to get hurt.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's been cool. This season's been fun to watch, really. At the varsity level, I mean,
Yeah.
It's been really cool. Lexi, my wife, she just got a job at Perrysburg this year as the STEM teacher, and she has Connor, Wallensack, and TJ in the same class.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and there was a day where they were doing some kind of challenge, and they won. TJ and Connor did, like, as a team, and she gave them Kit Kats that day. It was a Friday, and what game was it? I think it was the Finley game. Maybe, and they both obviously had good games and they won. She's like, I like to believe that I played a huge role in that. She's like, I might have to give them Kit Kats before every game now.
So. I used to do that. I remember when I was a 7th grade coach, and then when I was a freshman, I used to eat gummy bears before the varsity games all the time.
Really?
And then I'd hand them out, as we're going through pregame.
Yeah.
And like I would do the first game, go to all the coaches, and if they took one, and I'd let them know, I was like, okay, you're taking one now. You have to take one before every game now, or whatever. And I think there was one. I don't know if it was one coach or it might have been a trainer, either Steph or Garrett, that took like they always wanted 2 red ones. I go, okay, but you always got to take 2 red ones.
Yeah, right.
So all this like superstitious stuff.
I was gonna say, are you a superstitious person? Because you wear the exact same outfit for every single game.
So yes, that's my game day. My game day clothes that I wear all the time. It can be 100 degrees and I'm still wearing pants. I don't know. So before the first game, I told Coach Connor, I'm like, hey, I wear opposite of whatever the team wears, so they can see me because I'm signaling.
Yeah.
And he says, all right, well, we got this or that. I go, well, I kind of like have these things I wear. And he looked at me and he knew what I was talking about. He goes, go, man, if you got something you wear, go ahead and wear it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wear the same. They're a little bit different, but those like baseball pullovers, I call them. But it's,
the white ones, right?
The white and black.
And
yeah. I don't know.
I guess I've never seen an away game, so or it's been. Honestly, I've never seen you coach at an away game. So you wear a black one at the away games, then?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I guess I've never seen an away game.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, I do wear the same.
And the pants are like those tan ones or
khaki
whatever.
pants.
Yeah.
There is some stuff that I'm superstitious about, and then also some of that stuff maybe isn't that. It's just comfortability.
Yeah, right.
This is what I like to wear
for sure.
Yeah. Also, one thing I've been doing this year, and I'd like to get more T-shirts. So hopefully other sports are listening. But I like to wear other sports during pregame.
Yeah.
So Friday I had a cross country shirt on. The last home game we had, I had a band shirt on.
Oh, that's cool.
So I just like, I don't know, I just like wearing, because what better way to show support than on the biggest night of the year in the fall,
Right, exactly. So, that's super cool. I like that.
So if there's other sports that want me to wear their shirts out there,
Yeah, just putting a little plug out there. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, but I usually I buy that stuff because they have fundraisers. Like I bought that cross country one is from Sean Murray, the 7th grade or the junior high cross country.
Oh yeah.
Last year when they were state champs or something. I think it was last year. So
yeah.
But also I like wearing T-shirts. If you look at my drawers, they're just full of T-shirts.
I know. I have so many T-shirts. And I don't wear enough. It's annoying how many T-shirts I have.
Yeah.
I have a separate pile that I wear for like working out. That's like in my closet, and then I have another drawer full of tons of T-shirts that I hardly ever touch because. When you go to work, for me, I go to work, I'm wearing a polo or something, so I'm not wearing a T-shirt. So it's like, why do I have all these T-shirts? I don't know. Whatever. It's fine.
That's the same thing for me. Like I have a uniform, so I got to wear my uniform, and then when I come home, I grab a shirt and just go to practice.
Yeah, right.
And even then, I don't wear T-shirts all the time. If it's hot, I have those long sleeve sun shirts on.
Oh yeah.
So I don't even wear T-shirts then, but I have a lot.
Yeah. You just accumulate them over time.
Yeah. I've had to get rid of them because some of those too, like especially if you're wearing them and sweating them all the time, the stench doesn't always wash out.
Yeah, right.
Like, all right, well I guess we're done with this shirt.
Yeah,
now.
right, exactly. Yeah, some of them just have sentimental value for me, and I'll never wear them ever again. But like, I just want to have them because they remind me of whatever time it was.
I have a whole bag of shirts like that are in a vacuum sealed bag, giant bag that are sitting over there in the laundry room.
Yeah. I have been superstitious before, but I usually try not to be because I feel like I feel like it can lead to really bad things because, like, if you ever have a superstition and it doesn't, like, you don't do it that day, like, it puts you in a bad mental state. And I just want to prevent that from happening. So I try not to have superstitions because I don't want to do that to myself.
Well, that's why, like, it doesn't bother me. It's not a huge thing totally.
Yeah.
If something I wear, it makes me feel, like I said, it makes me feel comfortable.
Yeah.
But as far as like things I do, like, oh, today we won the game, and before I got there, I had a cheeseburger. You know,
Yeah.
like, you know,
Yeah, right,
I'm not
exactly.
gonna like keep eating cheeseburgers. You know?
Yeah. Although I do like cheeseburgers an awful lot.
I think that was Coach Hauge used to get like 2 rodeo burgers from BK before games.
Before games. Oh my gosh. That reminds me, Coach Kriegel, I remember one time told me about I remember when he became the head coach when I was in high school, we were in the weight room and he's like, I don't know what we were talking about. We were talking about eating and stuff. He's like, no, do not eat less, eat more. And he told us a story about how he would buy a hot and ready before he left, like after school or after practice or something, and he'd drive home and he'd eat the entire pizza before he got home. He'd eat an entire hot and ready on his drive home from Perrysburg to Bowling Green. Yeah. I was like, that is incredibly.
I've done that a few times.
Yeah, I'm sure I could do that. I just haven't done it.
Or you don't feel good about it.
No, right.
Mentally
exactly.
or physically.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, right. Exactly. I'm such a piece of shit.
Yeah. So you just go to the home games so far, you said?
Yeah, for the most part.
I like that families can sit back
Yeah,
there.
that's really nice. I think that's part of the reason, and that's spoiling our children though, because like if we ever go to a away game, we can't do that, and they're gonna be like, wait, we have to sit up here, and it'll be fine.
Well,
But
I find kids are pretty okay with it as long as there's a concession stand.
oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, they do. That's the snacks are huge.
Yeah.
I remember. Well, I remember when I was a kid. I guess I sat in the stands for all my brother's football games at Tiffin Columbian, and so, and I loved football. So I guess as long as they like football, I don't know if Penny would like football as much.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. One of these days I'll take him to an away game, or maybe one day I'll be coaching and then he just come on the sideline with me. I used to love that too. My dad was the team doctor, like on the game days and stuff. So he'd let me go down there and hang out, but had to stay away from the sideline because you're gonna get run over by some players. Yeah. And I remember that happened one time. He's like, "See,
you got hit?
Yeah, I got I got clocked." He was like, "See, you gotta get back. This is why you gotta stand back." I'm like, "All right, you're right.
That's how you learn.
That's how you learn." Yep, for sure.
But it is fun, and I think, Lillian's the same way. I don't think she likes football, but she likes me. You know? So she sees me and she sees her brother out there, and then she's a baton twirler. So at halftime,
that's fun.
her teacher, her coach is also the coach for the high school girls.
Oh, cool.
So she gets to see all those girls at practice too, and then she gets to see them perform and stuff. So she likes that stuff.
Yeah, that
too.
is cool. Yeah,
they'll find stuff, and like I said, if you're on the sideline, they're going to see you, and they're going to be into it as much as they can. You know, I know Andrea has to run to the concession stand a few times.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, with the little kid area, I think Lillian usually finds friends there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Runs around.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I think Lillian and Harrison know each other because they both go to school together at Woodland and stuff. So I know they know each other and they have mutual friends and stuff like that too. It's funny, Lorenzo. I've seen Andrea about 8 million times in my life because of you and being at the football games, but I've never talked to her before. And I may have said hi to her before, but I've never talked to her before. Is she like a shy person?
No, she's definitely not. I mean, when we're out and doing stuff, she's outgoing and everything.
Yeah.
But I talk to everybody.
Yeah.
And she's not like, she won't go out of not all the time go out of the way, but like, I know that person.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
But I talk to everybody. And it's tough too, because for both of us, a lot of parents know who I am. By default, some of them know who she is, or players know who she is. So that people will say hi to her or me that I don't know who they are.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
And then it's weird.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that is weird.
The parents usually figure it out. If I say, "Hey, how's it going?" They're like, "I'm so and so's parent." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you," or whatever.
Right.
And
that's probably and maybe that's why.
But
we've never talked because I probably have said hi to Andrew, but she probably doesn't know who I am though.
Well, I mean, that's the thing too. Like if you say hello to her and I mean, she'll talk to you. She's not gonna say no, but
Yeah, it's kind of odd. Like, I don't really know who this person is and why they know who I am. It's kind of awkward. Yeah. So.
And she said that before about people like, "Hey, this person said hi to me and I wasn't sure who they were, and if she can point them out, I'll if I know who they are, I'll let them know." But sometimes like I don't know who that is. Sorry, can't help you.
Can't help you there. She went to Perrysburg, didn't she?
Yeah, she graduated in 04.
Oh, so she's my brother's age.
I
Then.
was 03. She was 04. Yeah.
Oh, okay, got you. Okay, I was gonna say I remember seeing her in school and stuff. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. That's cool.
But yeah, she'll say hi. Just just introduce yourself. Don't be a jerk about it.
Yeah, stop being a dumbass and say who you are.
Stop being a weirdo.
Yeah. Oh, hey. So, did you and Andrea date in high school at all?
No, I didn't. She always makes fun of me, but I didn't know who she was in high school.
Oh, okay.
I moved to Perrysburg when I was 14, and I always tell like I barely knew all the kids in my grade.
Oh, okay.
Let alone
someone else's grade. Yeah.
She was. My sister was friends with her best friend Allison Reynolds, and so I think Andrea came over my house maybe once or twice when we were in high school.
Okay.
But we started dating when we were at BG.
Oh, okay.
So I, and she says this too. I was kind of into her friend. So we, but we, we slowly. We had this thing where I was a commuter, so I'd go up to the commuter lounge in between classes and take a nap.
Oh, okay.
And at some point, we got to the habit of she would always text me when she was in the student union.
Oh.
And she'd wake me up, and then I'd go down there and be with her and her friends, and we eat lunch or
Okay.
whatever. And,
that's cool.
And then that's how we started talking. So,
yeah.
We met each other there.
Yeah.
And then I don't know when that was because that had been, that was my second time trying BG. My first time they asked me to leave. And so that was my second time.
Sir, you're not cut out for this school thing.
You have to go to class.
Yeah.
All right, sorry.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, but that was the second time, and then I think they asked me to leave again. So I always tell kids like I didn't party or nothing. I was lazy. I didn't go to class. I didn't want to be there.
Yeah,
Well,
you had to commute too, so it's like
it's
a long drive, man.
Yeah, it was like something I had to do, and I didn't want to do it.
Yeah, right. So. If you didn't have to go, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's kind of me and Lexi. We both went to Perrysburg. Lexi's my age, so I knew who she was. I've known her since since we're in 5th grade when I first moved to Perrysburg, and we actually quote unquote dated like in 6th grade.
Oh, yeah.
But then she thought she dumped me because I was weird and I listened to Metallica, and everyone else at the time listened to Limp Bizkit, and so I was weird. So anyway, so that lasted for about a week, and then we dated again in senior year of high school. Went to homecoming together. In fact, she had to ask me to homecoming because I was planning on asking somebody else that was like I took a class called Teaching Professions, which is it's like a PENA program, but they have it at Perrysburg for people that want to be teachers. And at the time I was into some girl that was in my class with me in that class. And so I was going to ask her, and then Lexi, we were like driving one time together to go to a soccer game. So she's like, "Hey, who are you going to ask to homecoming?" I'm like, "I don't know, maybe Brianna." And she's like, "Oh, you don't want to go with me?" I was like,
really?
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, I had no idea that was even an option." Like me and her had English class together, and we flirted in English class. But like, it was kind of funny. I always thought Lexi was out of my league, like my whole life.
I always thought everyone was out of my league.
I was like, there's no way this super hot, like popular chick has any interest in dating me. And then she's like, "Don't you want to go with me?" I was like, "Oh, yeah, for sure. I want to go with you." Like, I didn't even know that was a thing. And we ended up having so I guess we weren't dating technically yet, but we had so much fun at that homecoming dance. We looked like fools because we were dancing like crazy, like actually dancing and like acting like idiots. But like we had so much fun together.
Yeah.
So we started dating right after that for about a month. And then this is awful. Maybe I shouldn't share this on the podcast.
Maybe that's telling you not to.
But we tell people this all the time. It's funny. We found out, we were both cheating on each other essentially. So at some point she started kind of seeing like off to the side secretly her ex-boyfriend, and I was dating another girl in Tiffin. Because my dad lived in Tiffin. I went to his house every other weekend. So, and I knew her back from elementary school because I was born in Tiffin.
Yeah.
And so we started dating. So I was dating Lexi and her at the same time. And I remember Lexi tells this story about how we were at the movie theater that year, and the other girl name was Katie. And Katie kept texting me and calling me like over and over and over again during this movie. And she's like, "Why is she calling you so much?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I don't know. She's being weird. I don't know. She's clingy or something. I'm not with her anymore. You know, just straight up lying right to her face." And so eventually, I actually did break up with Katie, and then but then after that, I admitted to Lexi like I was actually dating her. Like I felt awful. Like my conscience would not allow me to go on with this lie any longer. So I told Lexi, and then she broke down and started crying, and she's like, "No, we're not." And it's like, "No," and I'm not. And she was like, "I'm breaking up with you. Like, there's no way."
Yeah.
And then so the effed up part about this whole thing is like she made me feel awful about that, but at the same time she was doing the same shit behind my back with her ex-boyfriend, which I found out like a month later.
Oh man!
And because somebody told me like they saw her and the kid's name was Dave at like Denny's or something in Rossford on a day we had a 2-hour delay.
Yeah.
And they're like, "That's kind of weird. Isn't she dating Ben?" And so he told me, my friend told me this, and I was like, and this was way after me and Lexi had broke up, and I called her. I was like, "You were dating David while I was, and or whatever. You were, and you made me feel bad." And I went off on her, and it was like, it was not, we had a rough patch,
or at least it was then. When
it was mutual though.
18.
Yeah, we're 18 years old.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. And then sophomore year, then we both went to Bowling Green. And it just so happened that we kind of got like our freshman year, we sort of kind of got back together for like half a second, and it happened to be that week that we signed up for our apartments in Columbia Courts and Bowling Green, and we got the apartments right next to each other.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and but it was funny that happened, and then like right after that happened, like hated each other again. Just something happened between us, and like we were like, she was like, "I hate you, get away from me."
Yeah.
But then we lived right next to each other the very next year because it just happened to time out that way.
Yeah.
And then we started dating again in sophomore year, and the rest is history. So
wow.
It was a very weird
crazy.
story that led to us. But it's funny though, because like after going through all those rough patches, like I mean, it's obviously every marriage and relationship has its rough patches, even after you get married and stuff. But like we've gone through so much garbage, like it's like, this is nothing, like anytime we get into a fight or something, like we've been through this before. Like it's clear, it's very obvious at this point that we are so committed to staying with each other that like it would have to be hell for us to ever like get, break up or divorce or anything like that. Like I think that's what's unique about our relationship is that we're just so committed to staying with each other that I don't know. It's just, it's pretty cool. Yeah. I'm very happy with my marriage and my life and the life that we've made with each other. So yeah.
Well, good. And that's why your children aren't named Katie and Dave.
Dude, no way. Oh my God. I would not allow that. Oh, Jesus.
Oh man. Well, that's a great story to end on, man.
Yeah.
That's and I liked how you ended it because that's a way to say like, hey, all this horrible stuff. Oh, by the way, Lexi, make sure you listen to the very end.
Yeah, yeah.
How committed I am to you.
You have to listen to the whole episode.
All right, Ben. Well, good luck the rest of the year, man. I'm sure
thanks,
I'll see you around, see you out there. And,
you too, dude.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on the podcast.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks to Perrysburg head 7th grade football coach Ben Marshall for being on the podcast today. It's always great to hear about how other coaches' seasons are going, the trials and tribulations and accomplishments that they go through each year. This year being different because he has so many kids coming out for the team. So, and then just all the other stuff to talk about. It was a really great episode. Please rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast. It means the world to me if we can get this podcast off the ground and running. You don't have to share all the episodes. Just share one you like. One podcast, if you share one, could turn into a subscriber down the road. So any little bit helps. My Gmail is thenerdballpodcast@gmail.com. I'm on all the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Find me at Twitter at the Nerdball Pod. Instagram is the Nerdball Podcast, and Facebook is a page at the Nerdball Podcast. Thanks to Real JP Multimedia, Cuttlefish Graphics, Perrysburg Jr High STEM, and Big Daddy Graphics for helping out the podcast. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.